Blech. I don't know how the sound looks like. I don't know. I'm gonna put it down a little bit. Maybe not. Oh, whatever. Who gives a shit? Is the video visible? Is there something on the screen? Oh, the game is chugging. Okay, it works. It works. For some reason I can't see the you know, the screen in my phone. But whatever. Whatever. Wait, hold on. Does it look right if I play like this? See, this is where I would like to see it in my phone at the same time. Let's just move the cursor a little bit just to see if it's working. It's working. Sure, it's working. Okay. Hello, I'm playing Gran Turismo 4 for the purposes of playing this one race because I don't play with music on or anything happening, so I get kind of tired and I wanna have something to do. Oh my god, it's an oval! Okay. Oh, this is going to be great. I have to talk for like an hour while nothing happens in the game because I'm just going left. That's awesome. Oh, this is even better than I expected. How do you qualify in an oval? What is the strat here? Well, not this. Well, maybe it is this. Okay. I assume you can hear me because last time that I streamed Gran Turismo 4, everything was on max, so the game was way too loud and you couldn't hear anybody, but I thought that was funny, so I didn't change it at all. Yeah, I'm driving the blue car that looks like the Prost livery from the, I don't know, late 90s. And the Formula Gran Turismo championship is pretty easy. It is so easy that it is boring. But I want to do all of it because I really like how these cars control. Like, it feels really good. and it looks awesome. But see, I'm already 2 seconds ahead, and it won't get any more difficult than that. You can't tune these cars, and I mean, you can't like buy parts or anything, so everybody has the same stats, and you also can't change the tire compound. Everybody has the same tire compounds. It's the same car, it's just that the CPU isn't as fast as you. And I didn't modify the car too much in the tuning settings. I only maxed out downforce both in the rear and the front, and I changed the rear toe from -6 to 0. I don't know what that does, if I can be honest, because I don't know anything about suspensions, but it did something. And what? I'm just gonna do this for how long? This is incredible. So the rule with the Formula Gran Turismo Championship is that it's 12 races. It's probably most of like the bigger circuits in the game, representing different Formula 1 races, and the duration of these races are all decided by the real Formula 1 regulations, which is something like I don't know, every race needs to have in total either a certain amount of kilometers, I forget, is it like 200? And or it needs to be 2 hours long, whichever comes first, with the exception of the Monaco Grand Prix, which does neither, because it is so slow that to reach 2 hours, that would be too much. So I did the first race on my own, and it was fun because these cars are really fun to drive. They have a lot of grip, a lot of downforce, and they feel extremely fast, to the point where it kind of is the ultimate reward for playing Gran Turismo 4. Even if I didn't finish the game or anything, I just did most of it, and then I did the Nürburgring endurance race, which this car is a reward for. And then yeah, these cars are just like a reward for getting this far, and I love it because I love Formula 1 cars, and I love cars that have like extreme amounts of grip and downforce. I'm already catching up to the CPU at lap 10. That's awesome. Anyway, but because they are so fast and there is no competition in the tuning sense, because everybody has the same car with the same tires, it's boring. There's nothing to do. You just race for that long. Like, last race was, I think, the first race was, I think, 1 minute 15 or something like that. And I imagine that this will reach the 1 hour mark for sure. So I'm just gonna be here for 1 hour driving in circles. And while there is some resistance when I take these corners, I'm of course so fast that it doesn't really matter, because everybody is slower than me. It really doesn't matter. In the first race, I also did lap every opponent, but only once, because it was an easy circuit to, you know, dominate the competition, I guess, but it was still long enough that um, if I started just fucking around and not paying attention, I would eventually be caught up by the other drivers, which did not happen. I spun out a few times, but it didn't matter. And then around lap, I don't know, halfway through the race, I would say, I overtook the guy in second. Which was not the orange car that time. It was, I don't remember which, it was a green one, I think. That one, yeah. So I guess the green one and the orange one are the faster CPU, because they're constantly the ones showing up in second. But I'm always in first, so does it matter? Doesn't matter. It's funny too, because I mean, I'm sure that there's some amount of technique and, you know, skill to this IndyCar thing, but Gran Turismo doesn't really understand how to make ovals interesting, especially because so far I did like one race in ovals, because they're not something that shows up in the normal events. It's probably more for I think there's an endurance race in the oval, and maybe some special conditions events also have it, but like there's nothing to do. There's only 6 cars. There's not that much wind that could like put you in danger or anything. It's just, you just go and the car turns. Maybe if I was driving like a Ford Taurus, it would be, wow, a pit stop already? Really? This is quite early. I think so. My, you know, only one of my tires is orange, and in the last race they wait a while before they go to the pits. Is this, I now I'm looking at the entrance to the pit stop and I'm thinking, how do I even go there? Because the turn radius on this thing is, you know, I really have to slow down if I want to enter the pit stop. But why would I? I still have grip. I don't really know why I would go to the pit stop. This is plenty of grip, I say as I slow down to get more grip, but still. So I did the first race and I was thinking, well, that would be a pretty good thing to do on stream, because it's, you know, it's a long race, but it's not endurance long, it's just long, and you just do it. And I don't have anything else to do while I race. I just think to myself, I don't even have an engineer or something to be like, you know, watch for the tires, mate. You know, watch for Alex Palou or whoever the fuck is behind you. I generally don't know how you enter. Maybe like this? Yeah. So I thought this was going to be a normal race in like a street circuit or something, or like Trial Mountain, I don't know. But no, it's an oval. So the least interesting race I managed to start a stream for without checking. And when are you supposed to leave the white line? I mean, I can just do it. I'm not gonna get penalized or something for leaving it, but I'm sure there is a rule. But I don't know. Most of my understanding of how a race works is through playing video games. So oval racing is the most mysterious to me because, I mean, from hearing what drivers had to say about it, it's like it's dangerous and it hurts. Neither of those are things that you can translate to video games very well, because there is no danger in racing games, and it doesn't really hurt more than doing anything else does. I don't know. I mean, I guess I'm holding the right trigger for a very long time, and by lap 120 I'll be complaining about it. But it doesn't really hurt. It's because, you know, there's the banking. It's not a straight line. I mean, not straight line. It's not level. You have gravity pulling the left side of your body down while you're trying to make the corner. And if you've ever driven, you know, in heavy traffic or for a long time in a road that's banked, that does hurt. So I can believe it, I can imagine it, but I can't visualize the difficulty of it playing right now because I'm playing Gran Turismo 4 and not driving a car. And then that NASCAR game came out, and a lot of people said that it's good, and I'm interested in it, but I know nothing about NASCAR, and I also feel like NASCAR is a bit less extreme than IndyCar, because it's a contact sport. Not really. It's a, you know, you get what I mean. IndyCar goes like 400 kilometers an hour with gravity pulling your side. Like, that would hurt. That would be difficult. And there's the wind, there's the, what is it called? You know, the aerodynamics of the whole thing. It's like difficult. You could make a mistake and hit an airplane. Formula 1 is a lot easier to understand while you're playing the video game, because everybody plays it and they're like, oh, I know how this works. You just go forward and then you make the corners. But then they don't make the corner because they don't know how to slow down. Because they think that to win a race you must go fast, so you must just press the gas pedal to go faster. Except you need to slow down to make the corners, so they crash or they hit other people or they get mad and they don't understand the car. They're like, what the hell? This is actually difficult? You know, can you even do like the Chastain thing? Can I do it? Shit. Okay, that definitely slows me down, but if I do it slowly, can I do it? No. It doesn't work. It does not work. So at least that, you know, at least that part doesn't give you the illusion that it's so easy to race on the oval. You just go to the wall and press the gas pedal. Now I've run out of things to say already, and it's been 14 minutes. So I saw a cool looking Mercedes today. It was an SL 500, whatever. Really pretty. Maybe I should have been playing with the steering wheel. What the hell happened there? I do like that green car. You can paint the Formula Gran Turismo car if you want. I don't know if you can paint it in the normal game or if it's a feature from Spec 2, which is the version I'm playing. But I chose to just stay with the blue version that I got because it's cute. I like the blue. But they're all cute. Yellow is a really good color for Formula 1 cars, I think. See, now they're doing a pit stop even earlier, I feel like. I mean, I didn't count the laps. But my tires are just fine. This is sad, even for this event standards. I should do a second race this live stream if I can, because this is sad. And we've done 40 laps so far, so do we even reach 1 hour? It is starting to hurt to hold down this gas pedal for this long. I'm gonna start changing which fingers I do it with. They showed off the new Williams livery today. It's blue. It's blue like this, but not really. But it is blue. I wonder if toning down the downforce levels would make this even faster. I think Gran Turismo 4 as a whole is probably a really good, not probably, I mean, I just mean it. It would be a really good stream game, but it's so long. that if I started streaming it, I would feel bad. For I guess for playing it off stream, maybe, or I would be like, oh, I should do like a stream only run, right? You know, like on the side, where I can only play when I'm streaming. That would not work. But I can stream today. And I'm using that for one of the most boring races in the whole game. Awesome. No, they say that this orange is based on the McLaren livery. Some McLaren livery, like MP4 20, 21, I don't know. But I keep thinking that's the Arrows car. That's Arrows. That's not McLaren, that's Arrows. The green one, I have no idea. That's Brazil. That's Jungle Pocket. I don't know. The blue one, I get it. How it's based on the Prost? I don't know. Livery. I get it. It's a very similar blue. Oh shit. Oh shit. Oh shit. Okay. I'm fine. Also, hi Ilya. I'm sure your name isn't Ilya, but it is. The red one, you know, it should be Ferrari. But it's not. There's something about the coloring of this car. It looks a very strange metallic color. I don't know how to explain it, but it doesn't look like a Formula One car. So the red looks very off. Kind of looks like a toy, doesn't it? But what I was going to say about Prost is that the Prost team was sponsored by PlayStation 2. Or just PlayStation. Yeah, PlayStation. And it's always funny to play a Formula 1 game on the PlayStation 2 with a car that says PlayStation on it. Otherwise, I know nothing about the Prost team, so I assumed they were shit, because nobody talks about the Prost team. But the Formula Gran Turismo car was based on the 2004 Formula 1 cars, but with the regulations and like technology of the 1993 cars. So the 1993 cars had like traction control, they had I don't know, some fucking wacky suspensions. They were really good and way too fast and way too dangerous and way too expensive and a lot of other things that made it a pretty sensible decision to remove all that shit for 94. But that made a lot of people upset. And also, the 2004 cars were really, really good, except they had grooved tires, because the slick tires, you know, tires that look like this, that are just completely not flat, but you know, they don't have the thingies that you see on car tires. They're just smooth. These are too fast, because the 2004 cars were so fast. 2000s in general, the like first early 2000s were so fast that having slightly worse tires was, I guess, a safety decision. I don't really understand how it works. But it's, I heard somebody say, presume, calculate, that if those cars, if the 2004 cars had slick tires, you know, like this, they would be as fast as the 2024 cars, which is absurd to hear. That is absurd. But they would definitely be faster than like the 2014 cars, for example. Not every change in the regulations of what consists, you know, in a Formula One car is about being faster or better. Sometimes it's about safety, cost, sustainability. So the idea of this fictional car in Gran Turismo is that it's a Formula One car without limits. It's a bullshit car. And in the later games, they push that idea even harder with the, I forget what it's called, X 2010 maybe. It's a car that they got Adrian Newey, the, what's the name of the thing he does? You know, he builds the cars. He's the guy that projects the cars. He makes them. You know, I forget the word for this, but they got him to design a Formula One car from the future with no limits. So basically the fastest thing he could think of. And the X 2010, I think is the name of it, is really, really stupid. It has infinite downforce and infinite speed, and it's amazing. Of course, this car would kill anyone inside it if it existed in real life, but it doesn't. Gran Turismo 5 is a video game, and it's a really good car in it. It's illegal. It's 28 minutes. We're like halfway. So I guess we're reaching an hour. I can keep going if I want to. Like, play a second race. I'm tired. And Gran Turismo nowadays still does the fictional Formula One cars thing. I think it's interesting how much this series is about real cars and about, you know, appreciating the history of these automobiles. And at the same time, it can't help but create, you know, new vehicles that would not work in our world. Are there two cars that look the same in this race? Look, there's a green car and a no, those are different types of yellow. This one is green, yellow, and this one is just yellow. Or yellow and black, I guess. Where is it? Oh, okay. Is it raining? I think it's raining. But yeah, so Gran Turismo 3 had a few Formula 1 cars that were all called like F, some numbers, some letters. And they were all based on specific cars from the 90s and the 80s. And then Gran Turismo 4 had this, just this. And then Gran Turismo 5, I think, had like a couple of real Formula 1 cars that you couldn't do much with. And then it also had the Formula Gran Turismo, like this exact one. And also the, you know, the bullshit car, the illegal car from Red Bull, the guy who does the cars in Red Bull. Or maybe that was Gran Turismo 6, I don't know. And then 7, by 7 they already have a bunch of real Formula 1 cars from all sorts of time periods. They have cars from the 60s, they have they definitely have one from the 70s somewhere. They have a couple from the 80s, 90s. I don't know if they have any more recent ones, but they have Super Formula cars, which are the Japanese Formula Cars Championship. That is a little different from Formula 1. It's more of a, what do they call it, a spec series, where everyone's cars are the same. It's more about the team management and the drivers. And those are pretty cool. But I think you also have the fictional ones like the Formula Gran Turismo, and I think the other one is F3500. F3500A and F3500B, I think, are the cars. But they're more based on the 80s and 90s cars, like Gran Turismo 3, than this. And they are apparently really difficult to drive, which I think is wonderful. There's so many. What happened? Like there's so many laps where I overtake somebody who's like smoking or crashed somewhere. I don't get it. Are they spending their tires that much? Normally these CPUs have a little bit more tire life than me, I think. But they're just not handling it. Oh my god. He hit the fucking wall. They're just not handling it. This is really sad. This game was not prepared for oval racing. They do love the wall. It's their friend. At least this game doesn't have realistic physics. Can you imagine hitting the wall at 350 kilometers per hour? I don't know how much that is in miles per hour, but it's a lot. It's like, I don't know, 100 and something, 140 something. Beautiful little stuffed doll. Yeah, I definitely want to play Gran Turismo 3, like all of it at some point. I've played a little bit of it, like 10 hours or so, which is a while, but I didn't get very far. I feel like it's a lot more difficult than this game is. And in the older Gran Turismo games, I always prefer playing the more, race-ready cars than the stock cars that you buy at the beginning of the game, because it is a game about buying a car, upgrading it how you want it, learning how to drive these civilian cars and in race situations, and that's really fun. But I have no sense for this kind of thing of upgrading cars or what's good and what isn't needed, so I just spend way too much money in cars that don't really help me. And that makes progression through the game a lot harder. I also am very thirsty, so I'm going to drive with one hand now. It's so hot today. It's crazy. But yeah, Formula, what was I saying? Gran Turismo 3 is more difficult and takes longer to get to a place where I feel comfortable. And I got really frustrated and stopped playing at some point. And I felt like it was really grindy, which for the Gran Turismo 4 surprisingly was not. This game is not grinding at all. Like, it's, I mean, maybe I took the optimal route, but I feel like every car that I bought could do a few events, and then I would have more money for the next car that I wanted. I would never reach a point where I was like, yeah, I have to repeat a few races before I move on to the next thing. Real Formula 1 drivers should do that too, drive one-handed and drink with the other. They do have a water bottle in the car, but instead of, taking it with one hand and drinking it, they have a little straw that they put in the helmet. So, like, when I get to the straight here, I would take one hand off and grab the straw and put it in my helmet and then keep doing what I was doing. It's both because, well, they do dehydrate a lot in the car, but also it's such a physically straining activity that you lose weight doing it. Like, you lose several kilos after you leave the car, like, so you need something there. So it doesn't have to be water. I imagine most of them just use water, but I've heard a few have just had energy drinks in there, and there are a few others that you can imagine had alcohol, but obviously that's not allowed, so you can't say that they did, but they had to. Competitive drinking and fuck, yeah. I said it before you did. It, I don't know. If I was a Formula 1 driver, I would ask them if they can put a diet Sprite in the car. But what if I want to pee? That scares me. So Gran Turismo 3 has a tournament that's kind of like this, but the races are not this long, and the cars are very different. It's like, I don't know, 5 or 6 different cars based on different real Formula One cars, just not with any of the branding or the name or anything. And they all of them drive very differently apparently, and they all have different engines. So that one is more about choosing the right car and tuning it properly, where this is, you only have this one car and everybody's driving it. So it's just if you're fast or you're not. And I am fast. I'm 8 laps ahead of the second place. I could do this this championship without a Formula Gran Turismo car. I could just do any car, actually. There's no restriction on that. But why would I do that? If I want to drive this car, I want to drive this car. I like it. I went out of my way to unlock it specifically so I could do this event with it. I hope there's not a second oval race in this tournament. That would be tragic. Aw, I missed it. I looked at the the counter of how many kilometers you've run, and it says 779. I wanted to point out the 777, the lucky 7, but it's gone. It's gone. Sometimes I think I have no time to do these streams, like ever, but if I replace like just scrolling through the internet time with this, I think I could stream more regularly. Because I got home today from work, and then I put some rice in the rice cooker, and then I started this. and nothing else. I didn't do anything else. I need more water. This is crazy. I'm doing nothing and I'm getting thirsty. Imagine if I was driving this for real. That would be crazy. There's more water in me than there's fuel in the car. I love water. I love getting up from my chair at work and grabbing water and then drinking it, and then drinking multiple cups of water. This is so boring. This race is boring. It's crazy. Why did they do this? Genuinely, I'm only playing this championship because the Formula 1 car in Gran Turismo 4 is really fun to drive. Because if this wasn't so fun, this game would be crazy to expect me to do 12 races in full length, including an oval, or maybe 2 ovals. I don't know. This game has multiple ovals. Making someone drive for an hour is very funny though. That's the thing. There's some of these that are 2 hours. And this is a game with also an endurance racing category, which has races that go for 4 hours, 6 hours, 10 hours, fucking 24 hours. I did it. I tried to do it 24, but I invited people to my house so we could swap the controllers and stuff, and nobody had to drive for that long, because that's how endurance racing is done in real life. Yes, you can pause, but you can't save the game or anything, so you do have to leave the PlayStation on for that long. Of course, this is not a PlayStation, but you get what I mean. So I invited people to my house, and I did stream this, but I didn't advertise it. And you race, and then you go to the pit stop and you give the controller to somebody else, and then you keep doing this. So my plan was to do that for 24 hours, but we gave up at hour 9 because it was too much. Oh shit, I was looking at the chat. But you know, at least for Gran Turismo, you can't damage the car, and if you run out of fuel or tires, they don't like explode or anything. You just go really slowly and with no grip. So there is no way to fail a race per se. You can't abandon the race like 23 hours in. You are guaranteed to have your car available for the entire duration, but it's 24 hours and there's 3 races that are that long. You want racing games that let you simulate car crashes? That's a thing you can acquire. That's definitely a thing that exists. That guy was crashing again, but But yeah, this game has three 24-hour races. One of them is the Nürburgring 24 hours. The Nürburgring is a race in Germany that is known to be one of the most dangerous and scary races in the world because it's really long and in the middle of nowhere. So, and it's like bumpy and very vertical, and it's a dangerous race. It's very dangerous. You need to be like, I think you need to be 25 to even be allowed to drive a car in there. But it is also like a tourist spot. You go to Germany and you're a car guy, a car pervert. You want to go to the Nürburgring, and I do, and it's a really fun race. But 24 hours was too much, and also none of my friends knew how to play this game properly, and their learning took longer than I thought it would. So everybody was hitting the walls and spinning out a lot. And this game also has the 24 hours of the Circuit of Les Arts, or I don't know how you say the name of it. It has an H in the middle. I didn't think French words had an H in the middle, but it's the circuit from the 24 Hours of Le Mans, which is the endurance race everybody knows, I guess. And there are two versions of it in the game. One slightly different than the other. I don't know why, but I do know that. Oh shit! One moment. I'm hungry as fuck. Anyway. That is one other reason why I don't stream as much. There's constant interruptions every day. Happens. Yeah, it happens. But I used to take this stuff very seriously. That's why I had like GIFs and songs for everything. I would start a stream and then have a little screen that says, oh, the stream's about to start. Hang in there. And then I would message everybody who needs messaging. I would post about it. I would be like, hey, it's about to start. And everyone would be like, yay. Yay, tell me when your stream starts. I'm like, hell yeah, here it is. And then 2 people would join anyway. But I'm hungry as fuck. I don't know if I can stomach doing a second race. But I don't really feel like having dinner right now. I have a chocolate bar that I could eat instead of having dinner. Or I should leave and have dinner, then come back and do another stream today. I don't know. I don't even know if I'm supposed to have chocolate, you know? But it would help with the hunger. It would make some things worse, but it would help with the hunger. I wish I could play Gran Turismo 7. That would be so awesome. I want to play Gran Turismo 7. But yeah, about that other thing, there are multiple games where crashes are a big part of them. You know, the Burnout series is the most famous example, but there's a Japanese game I don't know the name of, which came before Burnout, that has very realistic crashes, and that's really scary. Since I mostly focus my racing game interests in like circuit racers with real cars, those generally don't have damage as much, both because that would make the games too complex, that would make developing these cars a lot harder, because, you know, Gran Turismo 4, for example, has like 700 cars. If you made every car have damage models, that would just not happen. But you know, Burnout has the entire mode about crashing really badly and killing as many people as possible. So I won by nothing at all. I won by just a tiny little bit. You know, fucking 15 laps is crazy. I said before that the orange car was like one of the faster CPUs, but I guess not. Wow. I'm so hungry. I want to play it more, but I'm so hungry. And then there's the replay. I don't care about the replay. Crumple points Moe. Is that so? Okay, what's the next one? Grand Valley Speedway. Which one is this? Oh, it's not an oval. That's for sure. Let's practice just so I see what it is. Oh, okay. This is interesting. This has interesting corners. Shit. Oh, this bridge is wonderful. Shit. Aww. I used the brakes too late. Wow. Okay. I'm not doing this very well. Seven seconds ahead is crazy. Wow. Oh, I love this car. See, this is what I wanted to do this stream. I play an actual circuit with corners. And this is definitely better than the first circuit, which I did not show on stream. Tokyo R46, R something something. I don't like street circuits. I don't know why Gran Turismo 4 has so many of them. Shit. I mean, of course, Gran Turismo is about, you know, domestic cars too, so it's normal that there will be circuits on city streets. However, I feel like Gran Turismo 2 dealt with that a lot better than 4. I feel like 4 has too many city circuits that are bad and stupid. Wow, I was slower this time, it's crazy. Oh my god, what am I doing? Wow. Okay. Yeah, I'm just gonna end it here. And maybe if I stream tonight more, maybe. Who knows? What does my stream over sign look like? Oh, okay. There's a GIF here. It's supposed to have a GIF, but it doesn't have a GIF. Let's get a GIF for it. Let's get a GIF. Or what's a good GIF for this? I don't think I have a good GIF for this. Here, this is the GIF. You can only see it in this size. Goodbye.